So let's do one more split here. Or even better, we can actually just still select by the path, because the path remain the same. And let's do a poly extrude on these, just to give them a little bit of depth. So we'll say we want to make output the back, and we want to just go a little bit out, something like that. Oopsies. So it's just a little bit of depth. So now if I say like exploded view, we can see that these things are now hollow. Well, they look really weird, but they are hollow. Or no, they're not hollow. Why aren't they hollow? Interesting. Let's see. Oh, that's because we, let's see. So when we actually did these cuts, we'll have to do those cuts separately. That's a good point. When we did these cuts back here, it immediately filled that in. It made a new surface inside here, like that. So what we actually going to want to do instead is, which we can do, let's just say, so there's that one, there's that one. Let's say that these ones should not actually create inside surfaces. So now they'll just be shells, essentially. They won't have any, they won't be filling in the new surface. See how they're just hollow now? Because I turned off keep create inside surfaces. So rather, let's see. Oh, it's this one. Leave. There we go. So now if I say create inside surfaces, you can see it created inside surface, but I don't actually want to do that this time. So coming back down to here, now our poly extrude, just like in Maya or other programs, our poly extrude, when it works on a flat surface like that, or like something that doesn't have any depth, it will instead essentially end up making depth. So let's probably explode that guy there. And there you go. So now, and this is important because you might get an asset like this from some modeler or whatever. Most modelers, I mean, they're not going to make depth to something that you'd never see the inside of. We never thought we'd see the inside of it until we decided to break it up. So let's make it even a little bit thicker. Here we go. Great. So now we've got all our stuff here. Now we will bring it back into the fold. And everything else should still follow from this, because even though point orders and all kinds of crazy things have changed, all of the work we've been doing, all of this work has been based off of names. So we set up all our names here, and we set up, they're all in terms of this path stuff. And none of those paths honestly have changed. So there you go. So there's all that. Sometimes we might actually have to update some things, and that's not too big a deal, but so far I don't think we're going to have to. Cool. So there's our new stuff. And I'll even say, actually, this is all still polygon stuff for now. Let's delete these colors. That. So we'll say kill color. And then we'll need to assemble them. Well, actually, so we will have to at least rename some of these things. We can't have them be the same exact name. So let's make one of these things. We'll say new names. And we'll say something like path equals, and this is kind of like what we did before when we renamed after the Voronoi fracture. We'll say spreaddef is equal to %s, so that's the original path name. We'll call this sub, like we sub-fractured it. And then just give it some number just so that it's unique. And so we'll just say the original path, the new prim number, that it'll have actually, we'll have to do our assemble first though. So we'll say we'll assemble them, create pack geometry, transfer the path back up, and there we go. So now when we look at it, we have all this stuff. Awesome. Cool. All right, before we run this through the rest of the pipeline, it occurs to me that up here with our break, we turn that off to do we turn the create inside surfaces off for that one. On this side though, we didn't do that one, so bam. And remember that we're doing that such that when we run the poly extrude later on, it'll actually be hollow on the inside, as you can see here. So if we don't turn that off, there's break 2 here, if we don't turn that off, then it's going to look like this, which is wrong. So just keep that off there like that. Great.